I want you to know, I walk into the shul, and then while Reb Hillel was at the wedding of Cheva B'Damli Mincha, I would say they're putting most synagogues to shame. They daven Mincha, there's so much heart, there's so much simcha, there's so much kedusha. And so first I want to tell the story now of Reb Hillel and of the Holy Rebbetzin and the child and the in-laws and all the Eden who daven here. You know, if I were to ask you, do you know how to daven? Oh, you'd say, what a chutzpah to ask. I'm perfect in Hebrew, right? Because what else do you need? Someone calls up page 35, and you can read the whole page, and it's called good davening. But you know, davening is not poetry reading. Davening. I'm sure you share my feelings. I mean, we have to call out the page because some people really don't know where we are on. But basically, when you daven, you talk to God, to your best friend. It doesn't depend on the page. It's deeper than the page. I always tell my friends, don't turn the page, let the page turn you. Every word of the prayer has to turn you over 1,000 times. So here's the story. Everybody heard of the Kotzker Rebbe, right? And if not, from now on. Kotzker is a little town in Poland. And in Kotzker, you know, by some Rebbes, the most important thing is Shabbos. The most important thing is humility. In Kotzker, the most important thing is it for real? Do you really mean it? One of his greatest pupils' name was Reb Yechiel Gasteninen. He was called the Tilim, the Jew of the Tilim. Because when he took the Tilim in his hand, and when he was praying, you could see with your bare eyes how he opens all the gates of heaven. So at one time they asked him, Yechiel, what brought you to Kotzker? This is what he said. You know, Reb Yechiel, besides being a Kotzker Chassid, he was a giant in learning. He says, I got married when I was 14 years old. Married the daughter of a rich man. And he promised me 20 years support, so I could sit and learn day and night and day. I would wake up 5 o'clock in the morning, and I would daven. 9 o'clock I would go home to strengthen my heart. About 2 o'clock in the afternoon, had maybe learned already 10 hours. One afternoon, give me how many everyone? One afternoon at 2 o'clock. Somebody walked in. I'd never seen a Kotzker Chassid, but the way they were described to me, I could see it's a Kotzker Chassid. A lot of chutzpah, a lot of audacity. Like he knows what he's doing. He walks up to me and he says, my dear friend, could I borrow your Talis and your film? I would like to daven Shachas. Says, I'm 40 years old and I have already learned today about 10 hours and you haven't even davened yet? Which is basically a stupid question, because what did you do the whole time? The Kotzker Chassid looks at me and says, listen, you don't want to give it to me, don't, but give me advice. I didn't ask you. And you know, according to Shulchan Aruch, if someone asks you what Talis and film, you have to give it to them. Okay, reluctantly, I'm giving it to him, I said, my dear friend, I want you to know I just been married a few weeks. And my father-in-law gave me a new Talis. When I put in the Talis for the first time, I made a vow that whenever I put in the Talis, I will have very holy thoughts. He looks at me. Holy thoughts, like he knows what holy thoughts are. He says, don't worry about it, it'll be holy thoughts. Okay, I'm ready for a big one-man show. Because if he prepared himself for so many hours to daven, who knows, maybe he'll fall down 100 times, maybe he'll cry, who knows what. He puts in Talis in film. You know what he does? He walks up to the window. And there's a marketplace right outside of the Smeldrish. And he's standing there for 1 hour looking out. Disgusting. What's he doing there? He's watching the people buying onions and potatoes in my Talis. Every second they want to run up to him and tear off the Talis, put some out. I didn't. After 1 hour, he seems to be ready. He goes up to the Rona Kodesh, the Holy Ark. Begin to daven. I looked at him, and you know, even if you daven Shachas very fast, it takes at least 15-20 minutes. He davened 7 minutes. He put his head into the Orna Kodesh. 7 minutes. Open your heart. He was finished. I couldn't control myself anymore. I went up to him and I tore off the Talis. I held the Talis in my hand. The Talis was soaking wet with tears. The whole Talis was soaking wet with tears. I was so ashamed of myself. How come I didn't feel? He was really praying. He said to my dear friend, please forgive me. I'm so ashamed of myself. I tore off the Talis from you. Forgive me 1,000 times. But just tell me, why were you standing at the window for 1 whole hour? He says to me, come with me, let's go to the window. And I will show you what's happening outside of the synagogue of the Besmedrish. They pointed to me in the corner. The Cossacks were having their basic training. Left, right, left, right, left, right. He said, what's a Cossack? A little drunkard. And what's the officer? A bigger drunkard. The general is the biggest drunkard of them all. It's the Tsar of Russia. You don't even have a concept what kind of a drunkard that is. But listen to me, he says. The little officer, the big drunkard, says to the little drunkard, right, left, right, left. Would he dare to go left, right, instead of right, left? He wouldn't dare. Imagine the general, the big drunkard would come. And he would say to the little Cossack, right, left, right, left. He would not dare. But imagine the Tsar of Russia would say to a little drunkard, little Cossack, go right. He'd commit suicide, but he'd go right. And I began thinking to myself, didn't I stand on Mount Sinai? Didn't I hear God's voice telling me, go right? Why do I always go left? I was so broken, then I began to pray. And I'm still holding the Talis in my hand. He says to me, my friend, don't worry. By tomorrow the Talis will be dry. I couldn't control myself anymore. I began crying from the deepest depths of my heart. And he said, I don't ever want my Talis to be dry again. I don't want ever my Talis to be dry again. Suddenly put his holy hand on my shoulder, embraced me, and he says, you really want to daven? You really want to learn how to pray? Pack up. Come with me to my Rebbe, the Holy of Holies, the Rebbe of Kotzker. So I want to bless all of you, especially Reb Hillel, and all the people in this beautiful Holy Besmedlish synagogue. I bless you. Your prayer shawls should always be wet. Always. But you know, my beautiful friends, then sometimes you take your children under your Talis, and children are much more honest than we are, and they see the Talis is not wet. Then they won't get much from your davening. They think, my father doesn't daven anyway. Oh, but you take them under your Talis, and the Talis is wet. And you know what's so special about tears when you daven? I don't mean tears of sadness, tears of depth. When my Talis is wet with tears, and somehow my Bobas and my Zedis sending me as a gift from heaven their tears also. Talis story. This is a story which was written, I heard it in Israel. You know, the daughter of a couple on a fairly religious kibbutz got married, and the mother, a survivor, came from Europe, and the only thing she took with her was her father's talis. So before the chuppah, she says to her daughter, I would like to give the talis of my father to your husband. I hate to say bad things. The daughter says to her, listen, mother, my husband is not interested in a talis. I can tell you now, he'll never wear it. And who needs a talis? She didn't say fool, but she meant it. Your father can imagine a water carrier, no television, no missile, doesn't know anything. So, it's not our kind of people. You can keep the talis. Okay, what can you do? She gets married, but eventually she has a daughter, and her daughter's getting married. So the day before the wedding, the mother says to her, I'm thinking the whole time, what can I give you? I want you to know I have this most expensive, really luxurious Chinese porcelain. I would like to give it to you. And the daughter says to her, Mommy, thank you so much, but I'm keeping a kosher home. I'm not taking your dishes. You know what her mother says? You know where my Zayda's talis is? It went straight to you. My husband didn't take it. But I guess my Zayda spread the talis out over you. You know, friends, we're living in a world where parents are sometimes so off. And yet, the grandchildren, they're coming back in such a deep way. Such a deep way. And it's just sad. Just sad. When children have to get their God knowledge not from their parent. You know, if parents would know, I can buy my children 2 cars, one fleshig, one milchig. You know what I always say, how does an assimilated Jew How is he Machal Shabbos? How does he desecrate the Shabbos? Very simple, he has two televisions, one for Shabbos, one for the weekday. And if by any chance on Shabbos he forgot and he turned off the weekday television, that's Chilul Shabbos, right? Desecration of Shabbos, because he's supposed to turn on Shabbos taking television. Sounds stupid, but God is that true. I want to also bless Reb Hill and all of us. We should carry with us the Talis of every young Jewish man, of every young Jewish woman. Her Baba's prayer book and her Zayda's Talis. And we should be privileged to deliver it at the right moment. Okay, we have two more melodies and then we have to make a little intermission and then we'll really sing. Are you singing or are you just like sitting there? What's going on there? Let's sing one softly and one fastly.